Tuesday, July 2nd, 1583, of course. Amridi Kirka Horam 2. Dee said, while I was writing of letters to Mr. Adrian Gilbert unto Devonshire, Madimi appeared to me in the study before Edward Kelly, sitting in the chair, first on the ground, then up higher in the air, and I said, how is the mind of Mr. Secretary towards me? Me thinketh it is alienated marvellously. Lord Treasurer and Secretary Walsingham is in the margin here. Madimi said, those that love the world are hated of God. The Lord Treasurer and he are joined together, and they hate thee. I heard them when they both said, thou wouldst go mad shortly. Whatsoever they can do against thee, assure thyself of, they will shortly lay a bait for thee, but eschew them. He said, Lord, have mercy upon me. What bait, I beseech you, and by whom? Madimi said, they have determined to search thy house, but they stay until the Duke be gone. Dee said, what would they search it for? Madimi says, they hate the Duke, both unto death. Dee asked, and why? Madimi said, take heed that you deal uprightly. She spoke to Edward Kelly. Edward Kelly said, God the Creator be my witness of my upright dealing with and toward him, meaning Dee, ever since my last coming to him. Madimi said, it is good to prevent diseases. Edward Kelly says, by this book, taking the Bible in his hand, I swear that I do carry as faithful a mind to him as any man can ever since my last coming. So which rendition of the Bible were they using? Madimi said, look unto the kind of people about the Duke and the manner of their diligence. He said, what mean you by that? His own people mean you, or who? Madimi said, those spies. He says, which be those? Madimi said, all, there is not one true. He said, you mean the Englishmen? Madimi said, you are very gross if you understand not my sayings. He said, Lord, what is thy counsel to prevent all? Madimi said, the speech is general, the wicked shall not prevail. Dee said, but will they enter to search my house or no? Madimi said, immediately after the Duke is going they will. Dee said, asked, to what intent? What do they hope to find? Madimi says, they suspect the Duke is inwardly a traitor. He says, they can by no means charge me, no, not so much as for a traitorous thought. Madimi said, though thy thoughts be good, they cannot comprehend the doings of the wicked. In summa, they hate thee. Trust them not. They shall go about shortly to offer thee friendship, but be thou a worm in a heap of straw. I pray you, expound that parable, said Dee. And Madimi says, a heap of straw, being never so great, is no weight upon a worm, notwithstanding every straw hindereth the worm's passages. See them, and be not seen of them. Dost thou understand it? Dee said, I pray you, make more plain your counsel. Madimi said, my counsel is plain enough. When I pray you, is the Duke likely to go away? Said Dee. Madimi said, in the middle of August. Dee says, if in the midst of August he will go, and then our practices be yet in hand, what shall be done with such? Our furniture is prepared and standing in the chamber practice. Madimi said, thou hast no faith. His going standeth upon the determined purpose of God. He is your friend greatly, and intendeth to do much for you. He is prepared to do thee good, and thou art prepared to do him service. Many men purpose, but one letteth in order. Dee said, as concerning Adrian Gilbert, what pleaseth you to say of him and his intended voyage? Madimi said, He is not in the true faith. D said, How hath it been said then that he should be the setter forth of God, his faith and religion among the infidels? Now, I would never use terms like infidel just because somebody's of a different faith, but yeah. Madimi said, That is a mystery. D said, Whether shall it be good that the Duke resort hither oft, or tarry, for the most part, at his house in London? Madimi said, Humana Palaki cannot prevail. As many are not faithful in these causes shall die a most miserable death, and shall drink of sleep everlasting. As in one root there are many divisions, so in the stem and branches there are many separations. D said, Give some more light, I beseech you, in the particular understanding. With the margin here, the heart, the mond, the NDE, there's something missing between M and N. Putteth on a fiery shape. So, okay. Madimi said, The fire that kindleth all these, and wherein thy life is one, forming them, according to whatsoever the substance thereupon they are grounded, so by the less you may prove the greater, that as in particular, so likewise generally, all emanations are from one. In the first workmanship lieth secret in one unknown, and it is sealed, and therefore it hath an end. The sun through the circles and the massy body, the heart in the body, the intelligence in the inward man, the sun from his own center spreadeth out the beams of his limited virtue, the heart life to two, and yet the center of life to the whole body, understanding quickeneth the mind. That mind I speak of putteth on a fiery shape. It followeth therefore that everything, what substance soever, hath a center, and from which the circumference beams of his proper power